Hey guys, I'm Saurabh. Welcome to the channel. So good to see you people back again. Today in this video, we are talking about gimbals. Now gimbals were not that common, but now since they have become so accessible, compact and cheaper, it's a must-have for every cinematographer out there. Gimbals add a different production quality, a dynamic element, and it levels up your video game. In short, if you know how to use a gimbal properly, you already have leveled up your video game. In this video, I will talk about certain tips and hacks you need to know about using a gimbal properly. This was a much requested video. This is going to be a superb one. I'm very excited. So without wasting any time, let's get started. The first tip or hack is to use the gimbal with a normal sized tripod. Now you do get a small base tripod with the gimbal, but do you know you can actually use the gimbal with a full-sized normal tripod as well. Now here I'm using the RS3 with my Peak Design tripod. You can use it with any tripod that you use. The benefit of doing this is definitely you get a elevated height and you can use this gimbal as a fluid head now. Fluid head is great for shooting videos and I'm a big fan of it. And the fact that I can use a gimbal to do that makes it even easier. I can adjust the movement and the shot with the help of the joystick that is present in the gimbal. But what I like to do is, I like to use the mobile application to control it. The reason is, when I'm in direct contact, there are chances that I might introduce a bit of camera shake. For accurate and precise movements, I like to use the application. Here, what I'm doing is, I'll set my tilt speed and roll speed to 0 so that even if I move the joystick in the tilt or roll direction, it won't actually move. And I only want to track my pan movement. I will turn the smoothness for the pan movement a bit so that now when I'm panning the camera and I stop it, it's not a jerk but a smooth pause at the end. Next tip is mastering the ninja walk. This is the most important tip from the whole video. Your gimbal is responsible for balancing the pan, tilt and roll axis. But if there's any kind of vertical movement, your gimbal cannot stabilize it and you will see shake in your videos. Now, when I'm walking, suppose I'm walking in the forward direction and I'm walking normally, then I'm introducing a bit of vertical shake. So what I have to do is do a ninja walk. What is that? I'm going to bend my knees a bit and then I'm going to place my heel first and then the toe. So this is what I'm trying to do. Heel first, then the toe, back straight and I'm moving forward. If I want to move backward, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to follow the same ninja walk technique even if I want to shoot a sideways shot. I'm not going to walk this manner because if I'm walking in this manner, I'm still introducing a bit of vertical shake. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to point the camera in the direction I want to shoot. I'm going to check my framing. This can be a bit tricky. Once I'm happy with the framing, now I'll start doing the ninja walk. When I'm going to walk, I will make sure I'm not shaking the camera vertically and I'm taking it, I'm moving in a straight motion. Okay? I'll start the ninja walk and this way you can shoot a sideways shot with the help of ninja walk technique. The next tip is focal length. Now focal length plays a very huge role in the look and feel of the shot. But when we are talking about gimbal, when we are talking about camera shake, the thing to keep in mind is the wider you shoot, less will be the camera shake visible, and the more you start zooming in, more will be the camera shake visible. Right now, I'm shooting at 14mm and 14 is a very wide focal length on a full frame camera. And so even if there's a bit of camera shake, it won't be that visible. But when you're using lenses, let's say like a 50mm or a 100mm lens, even a bit of camera shake will be exaggerated and it will be very mumuch visible in the frame. For me, when using gimbals, the sweet spot is 14mm to 35mm. I have used lenses like 50mm, 105mm as well when I need that tighter shot, but that is very rare. I feel 14 to 35 is a very good enough range. it's wide enough, so even if there's a bit of shake, I can correct it in post. Next tip is using the correct gimbal mode. Now in every gimbal, you have certain basic modes such as pan follow, pan tilt follow, and also FPV. I know this sounds confusing, I'll explain, don't worry. Basically, right now, the gimbal is in pan mode. So if I move the camera up or down, it's not going to follow the tilt axis, but if I pan, it's going to follow the pan direction because the gimbal is in pan follow mode. If I switch to pan tilt follow, it will follow the pan motion and also the tilt motion as well. You have to choose the mode depending on the kind of shot you want to shoot. For example, now suppose I want to start from the bottom direction, and then as I move forward, I want the camera to slightly tilt upwards. So I'm going to use the tilt only mode. I don't want my camera to move in the pan direction. So what I'm going to do is point the camera down, adjust my frame, and as I'm moving forwards, I'm going to bring my camera up and it will follow the tilt direction. Next time you're shooting a shot, analyze the movement of the shot, and then decide the correct mode. Using the correct mode will make the process of shooting videos a lot easier. Initially, you might get confused, but with practice, everything will be easier. Next tip, number 6, is rotation of the wrist. This is a continuation of the previous tip. Now suppose I want to take an orbiting shot of this particular structure right here. Since I'm going to use the pan movement, I'm going to set my gimbal to pan follow mode. The important thing when orbiting around the structure is to keep in mind that you have to slightly rotate your wrist to help the gimbal follow the pan mode. This is a very crucial and a minor step, but it is something that will take a bit of practice. Initially, when you're moving, the gimbal might follow a bit slow or fast. You can adjust the follow speed. As a beginner, this can be a bit overwhelming. So what I suggest is stick to the default settings and practice the rotation of the wrist, and once you get a knack of it, you can control the settings for accurate movements. The last tip or the hack for today's video is to use the base tripod of the gimbal separately with the camera. In the first tip or hack that we saw in today's video, we ditched this small tripod. Now we are ditching the gimbal. We are using this tripod, and the thing is, this is not a tip related to gimbal, but you do get this small stable tripod with the gimbal itself, so you can use it for lower angle shots. When you're buying a gimbal and you get a free tripod along with it, why not use it to its full potential? That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, very important. If you haven't subscribed yet, we are very close to 1 million subscribers. We have just crossed 900k last week. Thank you for that. And coming back to the video, let me know which was your most favorite tip or hack from the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.